Hello students, this is Chemical Kinetics part 3. Here we will discuss order of a chemical reaction and molecularity of a chemical reaction. So what is order of a reaction? Let's go to the definition. The sum of exponents of a concentration of reactants in the rate law expression is called order of that chemical reaction. So what is the meaning of this statement? You see here a chemical equation is given here. A moles of A reacts with B moles of B to form C moles of C and D moles of D. Then the rate expression is given here. You have to identify the rate expression. Here the rate expression is equal to K into concentration of A to the power X into concentration of B to the power Y. From this rate expression, you have to add these two exponents. Okay, this will give you the order of the reaction. So here X and Y are determined experimentally. As you know, the rate of a chemical reaction is determined experimentally. So here the rate expression is given like this, and from this X plus Y gives your order of the reaction. And remember, order of the reaction may be 0, 1, 2, 3 or even fraction. If the order becomes 0, what is the meaning of a zero order reaction? It means the rate of the reaction is independent of the concentration of the reactants. Means if the rate will be proportional to concentration to the power 0, if power becomes 0, then that term, suppose this is the concentration you are taking to the power 0, that means something to the power 0 is constant. That means it will be independent of this concentration. That's the meaning. Okay. So there is some question. Let's discuss. Find out the order of the reaction if rate expression is what? Rate is equal to K into concentration of A to the power half into concentration of B to the power 3 by 2. How will we find out the order of the reaction? Simply it is the rate expression. So if it is the rate expression, then what we will do? We have to take the exponents of the reactants here. We have to add these exponents. Definitely it will give you the order of the chemical reaction. So we have to add only half and 3 by 2. If we will add it, we will get what? How much? We will get 2. That is the order of the reaction. Let's see another question. For a reaction in which P reacts to form Q, the rate becomes 8 times when the concentration of P is doubled. What is the order of the reaction? So what is the meaning of this question? Let's see. It is given here, if the concentration of the reactant gets doubled. So initially it was concentration was P and it doubles means concentration becomes 2P. That's the meaning. Then the reaction, rate of the reaction, initially it was how much? R. It becomes 8 times means it becomes 8R. Right now I think we can solve it. It's very easy. So it is the rate expression for first case and this is the rate expression for the second case. Clear? So how will we determine the value of n from this? Simply we will divide equation 2 by equation 1. So dividing equation 2 by equation 1, what we get? 8R by R is equal to K into concentration of, you see here, concentration of 2P to the power n divided by concentration of P to the power n. It is here. So next we will simply solve it and we will find out the answer. So 8R, R, R, K, K, 2P to whole to the power n means it will be 2 to the power n into concentration of P to the power n. This is the concentration of P to the power n. And here K, K, P to the power n. So here concentration of P to the power n. Okay. So right now we'll see R gets cancelled. P to the power n gets cancelled. K gets cancelled. So 8 is equal to 2 to the power n. 8 is equal to 2 to the power 3 is equal to 2 to the power n. 2 gets cancelled. N is equal to 3. That's your answer. Got it? So next we will discuss about units of rate constant. How will we determine the unit of rate constant? You see here the chemical equation is given here. A moles of A reacts with B moles of B to form C moles of C and D moles of D. Here the rate expression is given. Rate expression is equal to K into concentration of A to the power X into concentration of B to the power Y. Here if we will add X plus Y, we will get order of the reaction, that is equal to N. Clear? Then right now we are going to determine the unit of rate constant, and previously we have also discussed the unit of rate constant depends on order of the chemical reaction. How? Just after a few minutes we will find out there. So you see here K is equal to how much? So you see this equation, K will be how much? This divided by this. If this expression will go to the left side, obviously it is multiplied in the right side, and if it will move to the left side, it will be divided. So K is equal to rate divided by this much. Okay, so unit of rate, it was concentration by time. And you see here these both are concentration terms, concentration to the power X into concentration to the power Y. If both are concentration, and if we will add X and Y, we will get what? X plus Y means N, we will get N, and these two are concentration terms, so we are writing here concentration. So what will be the final expression? Here concentration to the power 1. So here concentration to the power, in the denominator it is N. So final expression will be 1 minus N. You see it is here, and time is in denominator and its power is in 1. So if we will go to the numerator, it will be minus. So concentration to the power 1 minus N, time inverse, that will be the unit of rate constant. Suppose we will take zero order reaction, then it will be 0. So suppose we will take first order reaction, it will be 1. Suppose we will take second order reaction, it will be 2. Any fractional order reaction, it will be any fraction. Clear? The units of rate constant for zero order, for first order and for second order reactions. In the previous discussion, I have explained you that the unit of rate constant depends on what? Order of the reaction. So for zero order reaction, the unit of rate constant will be different. For first order reaction, it will also be different. For second order, it will also be different. Clear? So let's see here. For zero order reaction, that means order is equal to 0. So what will the unit of K? And you know, unit of K, we have just derived unit of K is equal to concentration to the power 1 minus N time inverse. So if we put the value of N is equal to 0 here, then it will be 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. That means concentration to the power 1 time inverse. You see here, for zero order reaction, this will be the unit. If the reaction is carried out in solution, the unit of concentration we normally take moles per liter. So it becomes moles per liter. Time unit, SI unit is second inverse. So this is the SI unit for what? Rate constant in zero order reaction. Suppose the reaction is taken in gaseous state, then the unit of concentration we take there atmosphere. So atmosphere second inverse. Clear? For first order reaction, N is equal to 1, then we will put the value N is equal to 1 here, then concentration 1 minus 1 is equal to what? 0. So concentration to the power 0, time inverse. That means it is independent of a concentration term. The unit of what? Unit of a rate constant is independent of concentration of reactants. So that means the unit is what? The unit will be time inverse, means second inverse. Clear? Next is for second order reaction, what will be the expression? Unit of K will be there. That will be concentration to the power minus 1. How? 1. For second order reaction, N will be 2. So 1 minus 2 will be minus 1. So here you are getting minus 1, time inverse. So unit of concentration was moles per liter, and its inverse will be mole inverse liter. So it here you see mole inverse liter, time unit second inverse. So here atmosphere inverse, second inverse, that's the expression. Clear? Let's discuss molecularity of a reaction. So what is molecularity of a reaction? The number of reacting species, that is atoms, ions or molecules, which must collide simultaneously to bring about chemical reaction. That means how many number of species means here atoms may collide, ions may collide or molecules may collide. The number of species collide to form the products. Suppose this is one atom, this is another atom. Suppose three atoms are interacting simultaneously to form the product. So it will be trimolecular. Suppose sometimes we will find that only one atom that itself undergoes reaction and to form the product. Then it will be unimolecular. So molecularity is always a whole number. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3. It is a theoretical concept and it never becomes 0. Can you think that 0 molecule will interact to form product? That is impossible practically. Got it clear? So let's take some unimolecular reactions. What is unimolecular reaction? In which the reaction in which decomposition of a single species, only one species will take part. That is, one species means one atom may take part, one ion may take part, or one molecule may take part. It will not collide with anybody. It will itself undergo decomposition to form the product. For example, ammonium nitrite. Decomposition of ammonium nitrite. Ammonium nitrite undergoes decomposition to form what? Nitrogen and water. So here only one molecule can decompose to form nitrogen and water. So this is an example of a unimolecular reaction. So next is bimolecular reaction. The reaction in which two molecules or two species interact to form the product. For example, decomposition of HI. Two molecules of HI decompose to form what? Hydrogen and iodine. So here hydrogen iodide decomposes to form hydrogen and iodine, but here two molecules of hydrogen has to interact to form hydrogen and what? Iodine. Next is trimolecular reaction. What is trimolecular reaction? The reaction in which three molecules or three atoms or three ions may take part to form the product. For example, a reaction between nitric oxide and oxygen. You see here, two molecules of nitric oxide reacts with one molecule of oxygen to form what? Two molecules of nitrogen dioxide. So this is a trimolecular reaction. So let's see here, reaction with molecularity greater than 3 is very rare. You see, simply practically, suppose 3 molecules are there, so they can interact. Still it is rare. But 4 molecules, very difficult. You think in 3D, 4 molecules, can they interact simultaneously? It will be very difficult. So for complex reactions, molecularity has no meaning. So let's take an example. Potassium chlorate, when reacts with ferrous sulfate and sulfuric acid, here you can see KClO3 plus 6FeSO4 plus 3H2SO4. You can see 1 plus 6 plus 3 is equal to 10. You may think it is 10th order, but actually it is not of 10th order. Actually it is second order. So in complex reaction, you cannot say that here it will be 10th order. Clear? Let's discuss rate determining step. What is rate determining step? When the reaction is carried out in several steps, the slowest step is the rate determining step. Remember this, the slowest step is the rate determining step. Clear? So let's take an example. 2 molecules of dinitrogen pentoxide forms 4 molecules of nitrogen dioxide and 1 molecule of oxygen. Here the rate of the reaction, it is found that it is equal to K into concentration of N2O5. So what is rate? Which one is the rate determining step in this case? So actually this reaction takes place in 2 steps. In step 1, dinitrogen pentoxide slowly decomposes to form nitrogen dioxide and nitrogen trioxide. This is the slow step. In the second step, dinitrogen pentoxide reacts with nitrogen trioxide, which is a first step. It forms 3 molecules of nitrogen dioxide and 1 molecule of oxygen. So which one will be the rate determining step? Obviously the slow step will be the rate determining step. So in order to understand this, let's take an example. Suppose you are moving in a mass, a number of people you got gathered at one place, and you are moving from this destination to another destination. You have to move here and you all have to move simultaneously. Then at which speed you will move? Suppose different people, they walk at different speed, and obviously you have to move from this place to this place by walking. That's the rule here. All you have to move by walking from this place to this place. Then when you will move at a faster rate, whenever your slowest one, if the slowest person moves faster, then obviously you will reach your destination quickly. If the slowest person walks slowly, then obviously it will be very difficult for you to reach your destination quickly. Clear? So next we will see here, rate of reaction not only depend on reactants but also depend on the catalyst. Okay, so the rate of the reaction depends on reactants. Some reactant may move at faster rate. Suppose in the first video we have discussed the precipitation reaction is very faster, wherever rusting of iron is very slower. So rate of the reaction depends on reactants along with catalyst. So you see here, the example is given here, decomposition of a hydrogen peroxide which is catalyzed by iodide ion in alkaline medium. You see here, 2 molecules of hydrogen peroxide in presence of iodide ion in alkaline medium. It forms 2H2O and O2. Here the rate is equal to K into concentration of hydrogen peroxide into concentration of iodides. Why? If you go to the mechanism, it will be easy to understand. Actually the reaction occurs in 2 steps. In step 1, hydrogen peroxide interacts with a iodide, which is a slow reaction to form water and IO minus. Clear? In step 2, H2O2 reacts with IO minus, which is a fast reaction to form what? H2O, I minus and O2. Here IO minus is an intermediate in this reaction. Clear? The formation of intermediate depends on the concentration of I minus. So obviously this also determines the rate of the chemical reaction. So practically it is determined the rate is equal to K into concentration of H2O into concentration of I minus. So from this we understood that the catalyst also, anything which catalyzes the reaction, that also plays an important role in a rate of the reaction. Clear? So you see here, initially I minus took part and finally I minus formed as a product. So I minus is not consumed in this entire reaction. Initially it was I minus and finally it was I minus, but it plays an important part in determining the rate of the reaction. Thank you for watching.